December 5th, 2007, a user on 4chans made a post with a simple and strange title, "What does B keep in the freezer? Guess what's inside mine?" Along with the post, the user shared a photo of an open freezer. At the bottom, something dark could be seen sticking out. At first, most people thought it was just a joke. They gave funny answers like cake or even Bambi's mom. Others made darker jokes, with one person saying maybe there was a body inside the freezer. But that guess turned out to be closer to the truth than anyone expected. About 5 minutes later, the original poster replied with the words, "Well done," and uploaded another image. This time, it appeared to show a human leg inside the freezer. Over the next 10 minutes, the situation got even worse. The user posted 2 more pictures. One showed multiple body parts wrapped in a black plastic bag. The other showed the user's hand giving a casual thumbs up in front of them. Then, just like that, the user disappeared from the thread. After that, people began trying to figure out where these images came from. Some tried to prove they were fake by doing reverse image searches, thinking the pictures were taken from somewhere else online. But they couldn't find any matches. This raised a disturbing possibility that the photos were original. So, the big question became, were the body parts real? It's possible they were just props, maybe used for a horror film or some kind of project. The person could have staged the photos to make them look real. However, some users pointed out that the body parts looked extremely realistic. They even showed signs of freezer burn, something that usually happens to real skin and flesh over time. If the parts were real, then another question appears. Who did they belong to? The original poster gave no clues at all. But after looking at everything, a few possible explanations were suggested. The first and most disturbing is that the poster was a killer and the parts belonged to victims. But this idea is also the least likely. People who commit crimes like that often try to get attention or leave clues, but this person didn't do any of that. There were no messages, no hints, and no follow-up posts. The second theory is that the person took the body parts from a morgue. But this is also unlikely since morgues have strict rules and missing body parts would quickly be noticed and investigated. The final and most realistic theory is that the parts belong to the poster themselves. It may sound strange, but there have been real cases where people keep their own amputated limbs after surgery or accidents. Some hospitals even allow patients to take them. Still, these are only theories. There is no solid proof for any of them. And now, almost 18 years later, it's very unlikely that we will ever find out the truth behind this disturbing mystery. On August 18th, 2009, an anonymous user on 4chan posted what looked like a simple and harmless guide. It showed how to grow beautiful crystals at home using common household items. The list included things like laundry bleach, table salt, baking soda, pennies or other copper coins, and ammonia. The instructions were easy to follow. Mix everything inside a large glass jar, add the coins, and then blow air into the jar with a straw to start the reaction. But anyone who tried this was walking into something very dangerous. What looked like a fun DIY experiment quickly turned into a nightmare. The person who made the post lied. This method did not create crystals. In reality, mixing bleach and ammonia produces chlorine gas, which is extremely toxic. This gas can seriously damage your lungs, cause painful chemical burns, and lead to long-term injury even after a short exposure. If someone breathes in a high amount of it, it can become life-threatening. People who are exposed often describe the pain as feeling like sharp blades cutting their lungs every time they breathe. Chlorine gas is even known for being used during World War I, where it caused the deaths of thousands of soldiers. But it gets worse. The step where you blow air into the jar with a straw was not useless. It actually made things more dangerous. It forced people to lean closer to the jar, making them inhale more of the toxic gas. This was not just a joke. It was planned in a harmful way. The original post has now disappeared, so there is no way to know how many people actually tried it. However, a reply from a few days later gives us an idea. One person shared their experience after trying the experiment. Instead of crystals, they were exposed to the gas and became seriously sick. They said they almost died and had to stay in the hospital for a full week to recover. and it seems they were not the only one. Over time, this post turned into a copy-paste that spread all over the internet. It appeared on sites like Reddit, Tumblr, and even inside Roblox servers, where younger users could easily find it. Even if some people felt something was wrong, many comments made it seem real. Replies like, "This works," or "Just tried it and it looks amazing," made others trust the post. Sadly, this may have led to a real tragedy. On June 18, 2015, someone made a post on Reddit with a heartbreaking story. The title said that their son had died after following instructions he found online. The parent explained that their 11-year-old son tried to make crystals using a guide from 4chan, but instead, he created a toxic gas. The parent asked if there was any legal action they could take against the person who posted it. They said their life had been destroyed, and their family was deeply affected. A friend had told them to ask online before speaking to a lawyer. Unfortunately, because 4chan is anonymous, there is almost no way to find out who originally posted it. That means there is no clear way to get justice. The only small positive is that this dangerous post has mostly disappeared over time, reducing the chances of more people being harmed by it. But even today, it remains one of the most disturbing examples of how something online can turn deadly. On June 26, 2012, a user posted a photo of a rusty grenade with the caption, "Look what I found in the forest today. Is it dangerous?" As expected, people in the thread started giving reckless advice. Many told him to just pull the pin. When the original poster asked again if it was dangerous, another user repeated the same thing, telling him not to worry and just try it. At one point, someone asked for a photo of the bottom of the grenade. After seeing it, one user said it might still be real because training or used grenades are usually drilled at the bottom, and this one wasn't. So there was a real chance it could still be active. Even after hearing this, the original poster ignored the warnings. Instead of staying safe, he kept experimenting with it, driven by curiosity. He broke part of the pin mechanism. He put the grenade in a microwave. He even placed it in a small fire. All the while, he kept asking others what he should do next. Then he posted one last image, showing that he had run over the grenade with his car. After that, he'd stopped replying. No more updates, no explanation, nothing. Some people believe the grenade was fake or already disabled. Others think it may have exploded, possibly costing him his life. However, after searching for information, there were no news reports about anyone dying from a grenade around that time. So it's also possible that the grenade was real, but after nothing happened, he simply got bored and walked away. Whatever the truth is, we will probably never know, especially after more than 10 years. On April 10, 2020, someone made a post on 4chan with a strange question. Is this guy wearing a full face mask inside? Along with the post, they shared a photo. It showed a couple sitting on a couch, watching something on a laptop. The man in the picture looked a bit creepy because his face was covered, but it was most likely just a skincare mask. However, something felt off about the image. The angle looked strange. It didn't look like a normal photo taken inside the room. One user asked an important question. Why are you taking pictures inside someone else's house? That's when things became much more disturbing. The person who made the post replied and said that the apartment actually belonged to the girl in the photo, who was an influencer on Instagram. He also admitted that he had been following her. In simple terms, he was admitting to stalking her. This raised even more questions. Another user asked how he managed to take the photo without being seen. The answer was even more unsettling. He explained that the apartment was in a high-rise building, and he was using a drone to watch her from far away, possibly from kilometers away. To prove it, he shared a screenshot of an Instagram story posted by the girl. In the story, she talked about seeing a drone outside her window. She said it made her feel scared and uncomfortable. Her caption said something like, "This drone came right outside my window and stayed there for a while. This can't be legal, right?" But before anyone could ask more questions or get more details, the original poster suddenly disappeared from the thread. People were left confused and disturbed by what they had just seen. Some users believed that the whole thing was fake. They pointed out small differences between the original photo and the Instagram story. But when people looked more closely at the original image, they noticed something important. You could actually see the reflection of the drone in the window. This made the situation feel much more real. Unfortunately, that's where the story ends. There was no way to find the girl or her original post. Hopefully, she was able to stay safe and take action against the person. On December 11th, 2012, an anonymous user on 4chan posted a photo of a syringe filled with a glowing blue liquid. He asked other users a disturbing question. Which part of his body should he inject it into? At first, people thought it might be fake. One user asked for a timestamp to prove it was real. The original poster responded almost immediately and provided proof. This showed that he was serious and willing to follow what others told him to do. Still, no one expected him to actually go through with it. But then, one user replied with a simple answer: wrist. Shortly after, the original poster uploaded another image. It appeared to show him injecting the glowing liquid into a vein in his wrist. While people were still reacting to what they had just seen, he posted again, this time showing his veins glowing with the same blue color. His only caption was, "Veins glowing." Then, he disappeared. He never posted again, and no one knew what happened next. After looking more closely at the situation, many users came to the same conclusion. They believed the glowing liquid came from a glow stick. If that was true, it would explain why he suddenly stopped posting. The liquid inside glow sticks is toxic and can be very dangerous if it enters the body. It can cause serious health problems, especially affecting the heart. Some people believe that he was rushed to the hospital, or even died from what he did. As time passed and no updates appeared, many assumed the worst. However, this theory has some major problems. First, there are no reports anywhere of someone dying from injecting glow stick liquid. Something that unusual would likely appear in the news. But there's nothing. Second, there are clear signs that the whole thing might be fake. In the photo where he injects the liquid, the needle doesn't actually look like it goes into the skin. It seems to just rest on top of the wrist. And the image showing glowing veins also looks suspicious. At first, it seems real, but if you look closely, the veins have unnatural shapes. Real veins don't bend in sharp, strange angles like that. Because of this, many believe the images were edited. In the end, the most likely explanation is simple. The original poster created the entire story for attention. He probably never injected anything at all, and is completely fine.